gets here. Thank you very much, everybody. Hey. Thank you, ladies of the auxiliary. I am here tonight to present to you a program about Buffalo Bill's life.
What? Not the ladies auxiliary?
I'm sorry. Oh, we're loonies. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm going to do a comedy skit, I guess. I do Buffalo Bill. Cody, he was the Wild West reenactor. He was the most famous person back in the 1800s. This is his picture here. And I'm a 5-time national look-alike champion for Buffalo Bill Cody. Cody was so popular back in the 1800s that everybody called him the Elvis of the 1800s, because wherever he went, they could just put his picture up and say, "I am coming," and people knew who he was. So I go out, I do presentations to schools, to kids, and it's a lot of fun. And some of the things that these kids come up with are amazing, the questions and that. But the adults are just as odd as seeing when we go out and do this. My brother, he does Wild Bill Hickok, and we go out and do presentations. And it's a lot of fun keeping the history of the Old West alive. But I'm not here to talk to you about the history of the Old West. I'm going to do a little comedy, so we'll try it. My buddy here talked me into coming up here, and I didn't know why, but we'll see what we do. So I have a cousin. He's Scottish, and his name is Angus. And I went to visit him over in Scotland one time, and I walked in the bar, and Angus was standing at the bar. And he looked really bad, and I go, "Angus, why the long face?" He says, "Oh, let me tell you. You see that rock wall out there? The one that stretches way over the hill? 3 years of sweat off my own back to haul the rocks in and lay them just right. And you think they call me Angus the wall builder? No. And you look behind me here, this mahogany bar, the hand-carved one with a mirror in it. 4 years of sweat off my own back to haul in the mahogany and hand plane it and lay the mirror just right. You think they call me Angus the bar builder? No. And you look out that door there and you see the lake, the pier that stretches way out in the middle. 5 years of sweat off my own back to haul in the planks and the pilings and lay them just right so you don't wobble when you're walking out in the middle of the lake. You think they call me Angus the pier builder? No. But you fucked one goat. So I was walking down the streets of New York City one time, and I saw this big watch with a window, and I had my pocket watch on me. It wasn't working, so I figured I'd go in and I'd get it fixed. And so I walk in, and there's an old Jewish man behind the counter. I said, "My watch is not working, and I'd like to get it fixed." He says, "Well," let me get my Jewish voice in here. "I don't do watches." "What do you mean you don't do watches?" "I'm not a watch repairman." "What do you mean?" "I'm a mole." "What the heck is a mole?" "I'm a Jewish mole. I do certain things for the Jewish families." "Okay, what do you do for them?" "I do circumcisions." I said, "Why do you have a watch hanging in your window?" He says, "What the hell would you put in the window?" So I grew up in Illinois. Anybody from Illinois? No, okay. My brother.
Oh, I am, yeah.
Oh, there you go. This is a test. All right. So back there, hunting was real popular. We did deer hunting. One of those guys was talking about fishermen. We fished a lot too, but the big thing was duck hunting. And we used to enjoy go duck hunting, and it was, I tell you, in the wintertime you go duck hunting, it's really freaking cold out there. And I want to do a little pantomime for you of a duck hunter, okay? Oh, excuse me, you don't squat with your spurs on. That's an old cowboy saying. San Francisco, and he told me it was the Queen. I brought my whip with me. My kids hated this whip when they were growing up because if they ever got in trouble, I told them I was going to get a whooping. And everybody got whoopings when they were kids growing up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, our mom, brother, she's 92 years old. She used to whoop us bad. She went to the hog market one time, and she got one of these big old canes. I mean, that sucker was like that big around and that long. And she'd whip us with that cane. She chased us up the tree, didn't she? Yeah, so I learned from that when I growing up. And my kids, our dad was a state patrol, and he used to have one of these big belts, about that thick. Well, we knew we was going to get a whooping. We got Dad, go get the belt. Oh, no, Dad, not the belt. So when I grew up, I had my two girls. They get a little in trouble. I said, go get the belt. They said, no, Dad, don't get the belt. I said, okay, go get the belt. It'll be a little dress belt or something. When they really got in trouble, I had this Buffalo Bill belt. I pulled this sucker out. And they said, oh, no, Dad. They knew he was in trouble. Last thing I want to do for you is, y'all heard of these cowboy poetry out there? No? That's a big thing in the West, and out here is cowboy poetry. You have like Baxter Black and all these other cowboy poetries, and they talk about rounding up cattle and living out on the range and, you know, being out in the middle of the night and everything. So the, you know, people today, they don't really see cow poop that much and step in it. So I was with this girl one time, and she was at a show doing cowboy poetry, and I said, that's pretty easy to do. She says, that's bullshit, you know, it's hard to do this stuff. It takes years to do it. So I said, well, I bet I could write a poem. She said, no way. So I sat down, and in about a half hour, I wrote this poem out. And she came out and read it. She says, no way that you wrote that. I said, I did. It was on a napkin right there at the hotel room. So I want to read it to you real quick. I was at this Old West Festival in the middle of a show when I felt old nature calling, and I knew I'd better go. To the back of the arena I headed, where the bathrooms were, I'm sure, and I found the unmarked cowpokes, stepped in and slammed the door. As I stepped up to that fixture to take care of why I'd come, I noticed something was amiss in this closet that was plumbed. That toilet was a-flowing, and the water wouldn't stop. My heart, she started pounding. So I went to get a mop. As I turned that old door handle, that's why it was stuck. Oh Lord, it was a conundrum. I was feeling down on my luck. The water, why it was rising like the great Missouri flood. And my boots, they were filling like I just stepped deep in mud. I jerked that porcelain top off of that ever-flowing tank, and as I wrestled with the stopper, I gave a mighty yank. You'd have thought I pulled the plunger on those great Niagara Falls. As that bowl she started spewing, it was shooting up the walls. The memories of Johnny Cash and his song of harmonizing, how high's the water, mama, 3 feet high and rising, were running through my head now as I reached up past my waist. I feared the pictures in my wallet would soon all turn to paste. I reached deep in that water to try and stem the current of this icy cold river that was bound to be my ruin. But that valve was rusted solid, and I twisted it too much. It snapped off in my frozen hand and let out an awful crunch. I'm sure you've all seen movies where the hero takes a last gasp as the water rushes over him and he knew it'd be his last. Just as I reached what I had thought was the height of my greatest panic, that door burst open and I went flying down the hall like Leonardo in Titanic. It washed me up to the front of the stage looking like a big drowned rat. So I stood up, took a mighty bow, and gave a wave of my old white hat. Thank you. Buffalo Bill, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, get those. All right, moving on to our next comic. He's a local here.